Yo, what up though? Welcome to the channel. I'm Street Coder Nate, and this is my first video out here. This is Street Coders. I'm gonna teach y'all how to code. Go ahead, follow me on the gram right there. You see it at Street Coder Nate, and we'll get started. All right. So for today, our first video, we're gonna get right into it. We don't even need all that introductory stuff. First video, my dev environment. How do I set up my dev environment? How does anyone set up a dev environment? And what is a dev environment to begin with? All right, so if you wanna start coding, you can't just start coding out of nowhere. You gotta learn where to code at, right? So this is what is called a dev environment. And so in schools or other places, they teach you to get IDEs. So what is an IDE? It's called an interactive development environment. And I usually don't even use these like that anymore. I use 3 basic programs for my interactive or for my development environment. And so before I get into those programs though, think about if you was in school and you ever typed a paper. You will go and you'll open up Microsoft Word, right? You'll be like, I need Microsoft Word so that I can type this paper in it and then print it off and then give it to the teacher, right? All right. So that typed up paper, I like to tell people that writing code is kind of like just typing a paper for real. And so it's like, if writing code is just like typing a paper, then what is a dev environment for programmers? So going back, if writing a paper is like coding, then the Microsoft Word would be the dev environment for a person who's writing a paper. But for a coder, we have another place for us to write our code. We don't write our code in Microsoft Word because it'll be ridiculous and horrible. No syntax, no highlighting, no nothing. So we don't do that in Microsoft Word, but there are different programs out here that allow us to do that very well. One of them is VSCode. It's another one that I want to get you guys on. So we're going to download VSCode today. And so with VSCode, all you pretty much need is, or what it basically is Microsoft Word. It's basically Microsoft Word, but for programmers, and it has different highlights for your code, and it helps the programmer easily see what's going on in the code. It also has a couple other bells and whistles that help us program a lot easier. Okay, so let me show y'all where y'all can find Microsoft Word at, or not Microsoft Word, where y'all can find Visual Studio Code. Okay, so if you come to, I don't think you can see it, but it says codevisualstudio.com, and shoot, all I did was go here and Google VS Code like that. Go here and bam, VS Code. Okay, so simply click the download. I have a Mac, so if you have a Windows, Linux, or Mac, you could choose which one you want. Download the installer and simply install it. It's as simple as that. Once you have VS Code installed, it should look something like these. Here's an example of VS Code. Pull it over to the screen over there, but it looks like this. You know, it's simply a text editor. It allows you to do stuff. You could install different extensions, pull up different extensions, see what they look like and whatnot. These are going to be very helpful when we really tap in and start coding in the next few videos. Okay, so now we got VS Code installed. Our next thing that we need is to talk about a very important thing for programmers, which is called a terminal. So a terminal, what is the terminal? Well, I just want to give you a quick glance at it right now. What is the terminal? The terminal, I like to call it a black box because literally, look, it looked like a black box. It's literally like nothing, it doesn't seem like there's anything here, but this terminal is definitely needed for programmers. And so if you and the reason that you need a terminal is because you write commands. You tell the computer to do things through this terminal. And so as we're writing code, we're going to have to tell the computer to like run our code, to spin up a server, to do all these other things, to compile the code. And so we're going to need this black box here called the terminal. And so if you're on Mac or Linux, you can simply just do a quick search of terminal like this, and it should pop up. There we go. But if you are on PC, look for the PowerShell, right? Let me look that up for you guys real quick. So I'm talking the PowerShell, Windows. And so the PowerShell is very similar to the terminal, except it's just Windows based. And they have the command prompt too, but the command prompt is like a dumber down version of the PowerShell. So just hit the PowerShell and we'll be able to do the same type of commands that I'm doing on a Mac that you'll be able to do, that I'm doing on a Mac. Linux, you'll be able to do it on a Windows. So we'll hit the PowerShell and you'll be able to do the same thing. Okay, but why did I introduce this? The reason I introduced this is because we're going to be using this program called Git. So through the terminal, we're going to be writing Git commands. And so Git is a program that allows us to, let me pull up this slide for y'all. But Git is pretty much a program that it allows us to do version control. It allows us to control the different versions of our files as we're writing code. Now, I know that sounds a little weird. So does an example sound good to y'all? I bet it does. So let me hit y'all with this example real quick. My iPad jumped off. Let me see if I can hook my iPad right back up real quick. Let me hop in. Let me knock it on there. Dang, I thought I set it up already. Give me a second, y'all. Add the iPad. Is the iPad even on here? Oh, it dipped off. That's why. All right, y'all, give me 1 second. I gotta add my iPad back on here. Let me do a screen mirror to my laptop. You know, we be having them technical difficulties. That's just part of the thing. But okay, let me add this hole on here. 7727. Yeah, we always be having technical difficulties, but hey, we here now. Okay, iPad has been added back. Therefore, you can see it. Bet. Okay, so an example. Let's see. So let's say that we are, writing some code, and it looks like this. This is our process for writing code. We writing code. Bang. We finally get to a part. Let's say we got the login done, the login page done, right? So this is the timeline for us writing code, timeline. And we write code here, we write code here. Okay, so now we have the login page developed. Now we can go and do, let's say, the administrative pages, or we can go do, let's say, the user pages. And the thing is like we create a version right here. We say this is V1, this is version 1, but someone's gonna go over here and work on the admin pages, and the admin pages are gonna be done in V2. But afterwards, we probably go knock out the what are these? Let's call these user pages. And these are going to be a part of V3. So then by the time, then we can, so this version right here, this version will simply just have login. It will simply have just a login. Let me go back. It will simply have the login and the admin pages in V2. V1 just has the login. V3 has just the user pages and the login. So we need some way to combine back so that we can have the login, user pages, admin pages, all in one. So we need to merge these two versions together into this version, and we could call this one V4. So this is what we are going to use Git for. We're going to be coding, and when you code, there's just a lot of things that could go wrong. And so we create multiple different versions. We call that version control. This is why we use Git. And we're going to have a whole video on Git and whatnot. But today I just want y'all to download it and install it. So how do you download and install Git? Let's take a look at Git. So here I just download or typed in Git and Google. You see Git right here. And you can just simply click on the first link, take you to the page, download right here for Mac. See it? Download for Mac. You probably got a PC. They have Mac GUIs, Windows build, all the other stuff. I would just download, if you're on Windows, get the window build. I'm not about to download the window build, but either if you got a 32, so if you see your system says x86, that's a 32-bit system, you want to grab that one. But if your system says x64, then you have a 64-bit system, you want to grab that one. And so, or you want to grab that one. So if you're looking for Git. So remember, so these are the three things we need for our development environment. Let me go back to this real quick. If we taking notes for the development environment, we need first VSCode. Second, we need some type of terminal / shell. And then third, we need VSCode, terminal, shell. And then third, we need Git. These are the only three things we're going to use so far in the channel to start off with. And once you get these installed, next video, we already hopping right into the code. So, I mean, look, y'all made it. Congratulations. This honestly is one of the hardest parts to kind of wrap your head around, is like, why I even need to do all these things? But we're going to keep going deeper and deeper and deeper into our development environment. These are just the first three little things that we need. But each environment you'll see, or each tool that we're using, you'll see that we're going to have to learn more about those tools. We're going to learn more about VS Code. We're going to learn more about the terminal. We're going to learn more about Git. But now that you have all three of them on your system, we're good. All right, so we're gonna come back to some more videos. If you mess with this video, drop a like, subscribe, comment, all that, whatnot. Let me know what type of videos y'all want coming out. This Street Coder Nate. I went to University of Michigan. I work for Microsoft as a software developer. I have my own coding company that I teach people how to code. So now I'm on YouTube and I'm bringing y'all some good free quality. Tap in with me. We got series coming out and all of that. All right, share my video too. Peace.